So here's why playing guitar or learning to play guitar is a lot like programming. Uh, in programming, we have really low-level languages like assembly, where you have to tell the computer exactly what to do, like directly manipulating memory and put this number over here and put this memory over here and copy this memory to there. All those kind of low-level things to accomplish higher level goals. And in music, it's the same way, right? Like when you first get the guitar, you have to train your hands to operate those low level commands for you so that you can eventually think at a higher level. Like when I'm writing iPhone apps, I write stuff in Swift and I can just say, read this file and print out whatever's in the file on the screen. But there's actually a whole bunch of steps to that, right? And the computer does all that for me so that I don't have to think about it and I can just think about the over goal. But when you're playing music, if your goal is, I want to play some song that I like or I want to write some song, like that's a really high level thought. And you first have to train your body to do the low level stuff so that you can think at that level, right? Like from the very beginning, I have to hold this right, I need to sit up straight, right? I need to get my fingers to use the right part of my finger to hold down the string at the right part on the neck, just behind a fret. And at the same time, I have to figure out how to hold the pick, and then I have to use the pick to hit the string that I'm touching with my finger so that I get, instead of this, which is not right, I can get this. And then I have to train my fingers to operate. I have to get this to go in sync with this such that I can do this. Right? And that takes a while to get this hand to go up and down the same that these fingers go like this, right? And even just keeping the fingers from going crazy like this wastes a lot of energy when my fingers go up crazy like this every time I change strings. And so you have to train your body to not do that, right? It's a natural habit, right? To kind of flare up your fingers. But especially if the things you want to play are kind of fast, like that's not gonna work very well. Like I can play fairly fast, but I can't play very fast and still have it neat. Like there's a limit to how fast I can do this without having to bring my fingers closer together. This is really hard to do in any kind of speed. And so before you can even think like, play this song, right? Like listen to the Beatles and play what you hear, you first have to train your body to make the guitar do anything, right? So individually I had to think, where to put my fingers and make it go with the thing, with the pick. And I have to work my way up to, instead of saying, okay, a finger goes here, a finger goes here, and a finger goes here, I eventually have to be able to think at that higher level and say, play an open G chord, right? And my hand, all my fingers need to know where to go. That's several steps right there my brain had to just do because I've trained it. And when I think G, my fingers go like this. And then I can do that. But so just to pick up the guitar and say G, that's already a fairly higher level concept. And there's all kinds of little steps in between that I had to train my body to do so that I could think G and my fingers will take care of the rest. And it gets even more complicated if you try to play a whole song, right? Because I play the G, and then I have to think C, and then I think G again, and then I think F or something, and then I think G again, and then I think D, and then A minor or something. And I need to be able to switch between those pretty quickly, and I should just be able to think, okay, G, and then A, and then C, and that's what I'm going to play, and my fingers should do that instead of getting sort of this thing going where I say G, and then I say, okay, now play A, and then I have to, hold on, okay, get this finger, and then A, right? If it takes me that long to get my fingers where they need to be, I'm not going to be able to play a song like that, because then I'm just going to be like, oh, hold on, hold on. Really, you want to be able to say, and until you can do that, then you're not really able to function at that higher level that you naturally want to think at, you know. And even if you can hear the song in your head and you know it by heart because it's a song you've been listening to since you were 5 years old or something, like you're not gonna be able to play it, right? You have to first train these low level things. In programming, we can just like skip past the low level things, and I can just go straight to a language where all I have to say is print this out on the screen, instead of working at assembly where I have to manipulate memory somewhere and copy something around and deal with stacks. If I had to do that low level stuff for work every day, it would just take me forever to do literally everything. And an iPhone app would take like 5 years to produce, even with like a team of people. But instead, I can think at that higher level so that I can get something done in like a couple months or even like a weekend, depending on what it is. But so with music, you really just have to put the time and effort into training your hands to think at that higher level. Like I can only kind of do it, but once you get to where you can do it, then you get to where you can actually try to play something.